All right, guys, so for a long time, I've used this model to prioritize how I train all of my clients, and a way to make sure that you enjoy seeing progression in your fitness without injuries, but without hitting plateaus, like barriers that are kind of feeling like it's stopping you progressing, improving your fitness, your strength, your skill, whatever it might be. So if we look at this model, right, this is a pyramid. It's a good pyramid because the foundation is bigger than the middle, and the middle is bigger than the top, right? So if I kind of turn these into kind of blocks, might help us kind of visualize it a little bit kind of more easily. There is no reason for any piece of my pyramid to fall off because there's margin for error, right? If we have a look at our kind of blue zone here, I've got all this area where I don't have to worry about this space because there is something under it supporting it, okay? So let me describe these kind of components. Movement is your mobility, it's your stability, it's the control of your body, and different positions in different planes of motion. And so it's this idea that actually at the foundation of my fitness, I want to have good mobility in my joints, and I want to have good stability in any range of movement I take those joints through. If this is my foundation, there's no limitation in me progressing my power. So my strength, the amount of force that I can create in different movement patterns, because I've got my movement patterns. They're sweet, they're stable, I've got good mobility, so now I can develop the amount of force in those movements without much kind of, risk of injury. Because if I don't have anything to support this next block, it's gonna fall down. Now your power is what we're gonna take into sport or different activities that we enjoy, right? So let's say I'm a golfer, right? And I wanna hit the ball. This is my skill, okay? And it's a very sport-specific skill. A golf swing isn't something that I would practice in the gym when I'm developing my power to become a more powerful golfer. But if I've got this block and I've got good strength and power on top of great mobility and stability, there's no limitation in where I can progress my golf swing, my specific skill. Now you can model this around anything, football, rugby, dance, whatever skill you enjoy, you need the power to be able to do it well and to progress it safely without any barriers, plateaus, anchors that are gonna hold you back from improving your performance. Same with power and mobility. So that's balanced. And that is not the pyramid that I see most days. This is, okay? Now let's take a footballer, right? There are so many people that I think enjoy sport and team sport especially, but all kinds of sport as a way of motivating themselves to stay fit and healthy, right? So let's say that all I do every day is I play football. You know, maybe I just kick a ball around in the park with my kids. Maybe I do Sunday league. And so here I'm going to be doing a lot of skills that are going to inevitably get me fitter, you know, keep me fit. But my skill is probably going to be way higher in football specific activities than my usable kind of power. So, you know, I might be able to kick a ball really, really hard, but is my hamstring power good enough to then decelerate my leg after I've kicked the ball really, really hard? And this is where not having a decent balance of useful power below your skill level is a problem. Because what is supporting the brick above? Nothing. And again, more common than having the skill section of my pyramid, the heaviest, the biggest on top, then having the power bit still pretty big, still pretty heavy, because you know we are explosive. We're running around, we're doing our sports, we're not doing these things at 50%. Mobility and stability, the control of my body to make sure that I can move without limitations, without any inefficient mechanics, is not going to be our priority. So whereas we've got all of these safe margins over there, if we have a look at our kind of bricks now, there is nothing supporting these red zones. And that is going to become a really big problem. Because, you know, one or two things are going to happen with this pyramid, and neither of them are good. You know, you guys, you want to get better at your activities. You're a rock climber. You want to get better at that skill. You're a footballer, you're a golfer, you're a dancer. You want to get better at that skill. You don't have the power to get better at that skill. You don't have the usable strength to make it safe for you to try those more explosive skills or push those explosive skills further, right? And so, yeah, increase your power because then you can become more skillful. Well, you don't have the margin to become more powerful because you don't have the movement, you don't have the mobility, the stability to safely improve your power. So if you want to make this better, you need to make this better. And to make this better, you need to make this better so that we start to have a much better balanced pyramid. So like I say, over here, you've got number one, you are going to hit a plateau. You're going to struggle to improve your power, your skill, because your movement is going to hold you back. Your power is going to hold back your skill. Number two, and the big one, you massively increase your risk of injury. And no matter how hard you try, when you're injured, you're not going to become more powerful, you're not going to become more skillful, and improving your movement is going to be really hard. Whereas over here, it's all good. It is one, easy, to progress levels, and more importantly, lower risk of injury. So, however you're exercising, whatever you're exercising for, have your pyramid balance. Improve your movement and stability, make that your foundation so it's safe to develop your power. When you develop your power, you're gonna find it easier to develop whatever skill you're working on. So take that concept, it's never failed me.